In 2013, I started a website about parrots while working a full-time job. Today, I run a successful digital product business and teach others how they can start a business as well. And no, you don't need to quit your job to start. Let me show you exactly how I did it and how you can do it too. Hey, I'm Whitney, and if you're watching this, chances are you're working a 9 to 5 that's draining the life out of you. And you're wondering if there's actually a way to build something on the side that could eventually replace your income. I'm here to tell you that there is, because I did it. But I also want to be really honest with you about what it takes, because when I started back in 2013, I had no idea what I was doing. I just knew that I wanted more freedom, more control over my time, and honestly, I just wanted to stop feeling like I was wasting my life in a job that didn't care about me. So let me take you back to 2013. My husband and I had just adopted a parrot named Hilo, and we wanted to give him the best care possible. But there weren't a lot of resources online at that time. So I did what any normal person would do. I spent hours researching, learning everything that I could, and then I thought, you know what? I could put this information online to help other people. So I created a website all about parrot care. I wasn't trying to make money. I just wanted to share what I was learning. But here's what happened. I added a blog and I created some free downloadable care sheets and recipe cards. And a few people started finding my site. It never became this huge thing, but it did light something in me. I realized that I loved creating digital assets. I loved building websites, and I loved helping people online. And I started wondering, could I actually make money doing this? So I tried e-commerce with my husband. We sourced and sold high quality EDC gear. And it was going okay, but we were both working demanding full-time jobs, and it just became too much to keep up with. But I still had this thing inside of me that needed to figure out how to make money online, and it just wasn't going away. So next, I started a blog and I became an affiliate marketer. Then I started a web design business because I genuinely love creating websites. I was designing sites for local businesses and helping bloggers from around the world. I was making some money, but not enough to replace my 9 to 5. And at that time, I didn't even think it was possible. Then I climbed the corporate ladder. I became a district manager and I was working 50 plus hours a week. I had zero work-life balance and I was miserable. My blog and my web design business started slipping away because I had no time and no energy. And that terrified me because it felt like the lifeline to the life that I was meant to be living was disappearing. And then burnout hit really hard. And I ended up having to leave that job to literally save my life. And I know that that sounds dramatic, but we were not meant to be on 24/7. That's not living. So I took on a new 9 to 5 that was way less demanding, and I made a decision. I was finally going to figure out how to make passive income online and quit my job. And I think that's something that I had been trying to do for a while, but this time I was actually going to make it work. I kept seeing people talk about making full-time income with digital products, and I needed to understand how. So I dove in. I used the knowledge and experience that I already had, and I created guides and ebooks. I learned what did work and what didn't work. And what I discovered was you can absolutely replace your full-time income by creating and selling digital products, but there's a right and a wrong way to do this. So how did I actually do this while working full-time? Well, let me break it down into the exact steps. I used the time that I had, not the time that I wished I had. So in my new full-time job, I was working 40 hours a week. And with life and everything on top of it, I didn't really have 4 hours a day to build a business. I had maybe 1 or 2 hours, some days more, some days less. So I stopped comparing myself to people who were doing this full time, and I worked with what I had. I had early mornings before work, lunch breaks, and evenings after dinners. On weekends, I pieced together my time and I made it count. I focused on one thing at a time, and this is huge. I wasn't trying to build a blog, a YouTube channel, and an email list and a course all at the same time. I started with one product, one offer, one way to help people. So for me, that was creating helpful guides based on what I already knew. What do you already know that could help someone else? Start there. I built my business around my skills, not someone else's formula. I didn't try to copy what someone else was doing. I looked at what I was already good at. So I loved writing, I loved designing, I loved teaching. So I created products that allowed me to do those things. You don't need to learn a million new skills. Use what you already have. I stayed consistent even when it felt like nothing was happening. There were months when I would make $50 and then there were months when I made nothing. But I kept showing up. I kept creating, I kept learning because consistency beats perfection. I treated it like a real business, not a hobby. Even though I was working full time, I took my digital product business very seriously. I set goals, I tracked my progress, I invested in learning, and I showed up like it mattered because it did. Here's what I want you to know. It took me longer than I wanted. I made a lot of mistakes. I wasted time on things that didn't work, but I also learned exactly what does work, and that's what I teach now. If you're working a 9 to 5 and you want to build a digital product business on the side, I am here to tell you that you can absolutely do it. But you need a plan. You need to know what to focus on and what to ignore. You need the right strategy so that you're not wasting your limited time. So if you're ready to start, but you're not sure what kind of digital product you should create, I have a free quiz that will help you figure that out based on your skills, your interests, and what's actually selling right now. The link is in the description. And if you want step-by-step guidance on how to build this business the right way, from mindset to creating your first product and actually selling it, that's exactly what I teach in my course, The Passive Income Playbook. I'll put a link in the description as well. Also, this month, I'm launching my free 5-day digital product challenge where we're going to take action together. If you want in, be sure to hit the link in the description and I'll make sure that you're on the list. You don't have to stay stuck in a 9 to 5 that's burning you out. You can build something on the side. You can create a life that you actually love. I did it, my students are doing it, and you can do it too. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.